Welcome. My name is Brandon. Please join me on this tour of the Muscatine Mall in Muscatine, Iowa. I'm going to share some personal anecdotes, mall history, and then finally ask the question, is Muscatine really a dead mall? The footage shows a place with very few open storefronts, but I will share why it might be considered alive. I first learned about this mall in 2020 from a YouTube video and wish I'd visited sooner. Muscatine Mall is almost a clone of Marshalltown Mall, which I had visited in July 2023. Marshalltown was shut down at the end of that year, and the Cohan Retail Investment Group stopped paying the electric bills. When visiting Muscatine in July 2024, instead of thinking, oh boy, another brick mall, like I usually do, I instead thought, this sure looks like that mall I'll never get to visit again. Maybe somebody will buy that mall and do something with it. Somebody did buy Marshalltown Mall. They completely gutted the place. It will be sliced up for big box stores. I should also mention that Muscatine has two other similar siblings that are still open. College Square in Cedar Falls, Iowa, and North Grand in Ames, Iowa. But let's switch to the mall we're visiting. General Growth Properties opened Muscatine Plaza in 1971 with two anchors, Montgomery Ward's to the south and F.W. Woolworth Company to the north. We are headed in the direction of the Wards in the footage, but we are going to make plenty of stops because there's so much to see in this place. While the following tenants were not anchors per se, Walgreen Drugs and Restaurant and a Hy-Vee grocery store had large footprints in this mall. Other early tenants in Muscatine included Firestone, Kinney Shoes, Maurice's, Musicland, and Singer Company. You could get a snack at Baskin-Robbins or Caramel Corn. In fact, the old Caramel Corn spot is still in the mall today. Baskin-Robbins would have been ahead on the right by the exit. The mall also opened with a two-screen cinema called Plaza 1 and 2. Its first films were Escape from the Planet of the Apes and Plaza Suite starring Walter Matthau. Yes, I double-checked my work and verified that a film called Plaza Suite opened in Plaza Theater 2 on the cinema's opening day. In 1975, the mall added a third anchor at JCPenney's at the eastern side of the mall, or the top of the T in the hallway. At the end of the 1970s, Montgomery Ward closed. A department store out of Davenport, Iowa called Peterson Hard von Maur moved into its space. Construction started on a new Hy-Vee grocery store near the mall in 1979. While I could not find any evidence of when the mall's grocery store closed, one could assume it closed in 1980, when the new store opened. In addition to Hy-Vee closing at the mall, the shopping center had its first renovation, with a remodeled main entrance, mirrored center court ceiling, and cedar trim. Brick planters were constructed both inside and outside of the mall. In 1980, General Growth Properties sold Muscatine and several other malls to Aetna Life Insurance, which hired Rouse Company to manage them. In 1981, Woolworth rebranded to Woolco. It closed in 1983, with the rest of the Woolco chain. A Walmart opened in that location the same year. Not long after the Hy-Vee closed, the building was carved up for a big hallway with a 24-foot wide entrance. A smaller corridor between Walmart and the Hy-Vee was closed. At the southern end of the new hallway, Kimberly's Smorgasbord opened in 1983. Kimberly's changed its name to Liberty Smorgasbord in 1985. The buffet only lasted another couple of years. In 1987, Spurgeon's department store moved into the space. In 1989, Aetna sold its malls to Rouse, which, as stated earlier, had been managing them for the entire decade. Rouse soon started a second renovation to Muscatine. In 1990, the cinema was converted into a 4-screen Cineplex. By 1991, the second remodel was finished. All of the mirrored ceilings and planters from the previous renovation were removed. The center court was updated with the gorgeous skylights we see today. Not long after the second renovation, Spurgeon's closed. It's since been carved up into further tenants. Today, a portion of that space houses the Jimmy John sandwich shop that we will see later in the footage. In 1994, Walmart and Von Maur announced plans to leave the mall. With the departure of Hy-Vee, Von Maur, and Walmart, mall traffic declined drastically. In 1998, Chicago-based Landau and Heyman purchased Muscatine Mall. In 1999, Staples Incorporated confirmed it would be opening a store in the mall. They opened in a portion of the Von Maur the following year. At the beginning of the century, we almost lost Muscatine. The owners had plans to demall most of the property, as you can see in this map. All that would have remained would be the hallway from the main entrance to the JCPenney's. With tenants leaving or being booted from the potential remodel, Muscatine declined rapidly. After a mere 2 years in the mall, Staples closed. As a result of the closure, other big box stores declined to open in the mall. However, in 2003, Elder Beerman moved into the entire space formerly occupied by Von Maur. In 2005, Quad Cities developers Rodney Blackwell, Thad Denhartug, and Kevin Kolner purchased the mall. In 2008, like the Walmart before it, Menards left the mall for its own place just up the road from the Walmart to the northeast. The old anchor space was carved up for a Jo-Ann Fabrics, Slumberland, and Shoe Sensation. While Shoe Sensation is attached to the mall concourse, it has no internal access. In the 2010s, Bon-Ton, the parent company of Elder Beerman, rebranded the store and many others to Yonkers. The owners of the cinema Fridley shuttered the mall location in 2013 when they opened a new 10-screen cinema outside of town. That same year, Diamond Dave's Mexican restaurant opened. As of 2025, the Diamond Dave's in Muscatine is the only remaining location. I was shocked to learn it opened so late into the chain's history, but I am glad it did, and is still open today. Unfortunately, I was not aware of Diamond Dave's history when I visited the mall, nor did I even know it was in the mall due to its exterior-only access, so I didn't take a break inside for lunch. In 2014, JCPenney's closed. An athletics facility called Lab eventually opened in its place. In 2018, Yonkers closed when its parent company Bon-Ton filed for bankruptcy. Compton's Furniture moved into the spot in 2019. That closed, and then Bargain World opened in the space in 2021. Within a year of opening, it became Warehouse Bargains. I must thank 10 Pound Hammer for going above and beyond on this mall's history. 2 days before the release of this video, I was going through my notes and started asking questions. This doesn't seem right. Did Sturgeon's really open in the Hy-Vee before it was converted into a hallway? 10 Pound Hammer really dug into the details, not only shared them with me, but posted a thorough history of the mall on Wikipedia for everyone to read. Any mistakes in this video are my own. Oh, by the way, the tan rectangle ahead used to be the entrance to Menards. In the original layout of the mall, the corridor we are walking down would have continued onward. This was the tiny hallway that was closed off when the larger hallway was constructed back in 1983. I have been told that this Italian-looking restaurant was actually a Maid-Rite. Maid-Rite sells loose meat sandwiches, kind of like Sloppy Joe's without the slop. I am done with history, so this brings us to the question, is Muscatine really dead? In 2022, local journalist David Hoddle, I apologize if I mispronounced his name, wrote an editorial about Muscatine Mall. He mentioned North Sea Dog's Dead Mall video from 2020. David did not think Muscatine should have been called a dead mall, and in fact, he said the mall was turning around. Now, I could rudely say, look at this footage. David was wrong, and be on my way, but his article made me stop and think. In his editorial, David was happy to mention a new card game shop, batting cage complex, and gym in the mall. In my driving footage at the end of the video, you will see several more external-only tenants. If you believe the percentage of open tenants determines if a mall is alive or dead, then one may argue that Muscatine really is alive, but struggling. Muscatine Mall reminds me of the Harmar Mall in Roseville, Minnesota, where the mall is dead inside, but healthy with external tenants. A lot of the tenants in Muscatine's western side of the mall were cut in half or completely closed off from the inside for external tenants. While David invited North Sea Dog to return to the mall and show him around, if you are watching this, David, I would love to share chips and salsa at the last Diamond Dave's and have you tell me what you love about Muscatine and what you would love to see in the mall. There are others who love this mall. On YouTube, one can find videos showing that mall management has taken the time to hang Christmas decorations in December. Who would do that if they did not love their shopping center? Do you prefer the 1990s Foot Locker? Oh, is that too modern? How about a 1970s Foot Locker? Yes, I think it would be even better to have both and have them filled with mom and pop shops. I make these videos because I love visiting and sharing places that still look like the 1970s, 1980s, or 1990s on the inside. I would love it if Muscatine gained more internal tenants. I would hate to have the entire place gutted like Marshalltown. Where would people host craft fairs? And the Mall Walkers Club. Whenever I see a mall with a Walkers Club, a little part of me always wants to sign up. Sorry I got preachy there. I will get off my soapbox. Oh, speaking of brick malls and craft fairs, if you can get to southeastern Iowa, go right now. No, I'm serious, go this summer. There are plans to revitalize the River City Mall in Keokuk. Even if the owners keep the enclosed section of the mall, there's a good chance it will be updated and lose its old look. I am torn, obviously. My selfish side wants River City to stay in its original form forever. But if it takes an update to get people back into the mall, I'm looking forward to seeing how it turns out. Maybe I will have to return to Keokuk in 2027. As for what I am doing next, I am going to jump to the western side of Iowa for my next few videos. I will return to eastern Iowa in the future to visit more malls. We are back at the beginning, but before we leave, let's turn around and take a peek at the old caramel corn stand. Don't get lost in the jungle now. The exit is so close. I hope to see you next time in Western Iowa. And I hope you have a great day. Take care.